All right, how to make 1K a day with your clothing brand. For those of you guys who don't know, my name is Eddie Scott, aka Sayless Ed. Started my clothing brand, Sayless Lifestyle, with my cousin Sayless Trent. That's who I run this channel with. And we started that back in March 2020. I was a freshman in college back then. That's crazy. And with that being said, we knew nothing. Zero zilch nada about running a clothing brand, let alone any type of successful business. We didn't know anything about marketing, paid ads, manufacturing, like none of that, right? Started with literally zero, even $0. But since that point, we grew our brand to over 500,000 followers on TikTok, 70K on Instagram, multiple six figures, opening up stores in the mall. Just a great experience and opportunity just running that clothing brand. And if you're watching that video, you probably want that opportunity, right? Of course, yes, everybody wants to make money, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but there's just so many great opportunities and life experiences and just fun that you have from having your own clothing brand and just your own business. So with that being said, how to make 1K a day with your clothing brand. Let's get into it. And so with the topic of making 1K a day, $1,000 a day, the major point with that is just having consistent revenue, right? Russell Brunson, probably one of the greatest marketers of all time. He has a great quote, and he says, if you are just making sales, right, you don't necessarily have a business. You have a promotion. So until you have continuity, right, and we'll talk about continuity in other videos in terms of having a text list, right, getting people to buy monthly subscriptions, all of that. But for the sake of this video, if you want to have a sustainable and successful business, you have to have consistent revenue, right? I can make 10K in a day, but if I don't get any more sales for the next 3 months, right? You see where I'm going. So with that being said, how to get consistent revenue, dependable revenue. When I was in college running this brand, right? Between myself and Trent, we didn't work a job. We didn't work any job, right? This was our main thing because the brand was providing dependable income. Well, yeah, I say income, right? Because revenue is different than profit. As Jim Rohn would say, profits are better than wages. And that's the next point that I wanted to touch on. Profits are better than wages. Anybody could come on here and flex their Shopify screenshots, right? I made 10 bands. I made 4K today. I made 100K in a month. But how much of that are you keeping? Robert Kiyosaki, he says from Rich Dad Poor Dad, he says that it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. So that being said, don't just be motivated by the Shopify screenshots, right? Or just that revenue so you can flex to your friends or flex to people, or just for your own dopamine. You see, I made 1K a day, but if you spent $900 to get it, right? Or if you spent too much on manufacturing, if your costs are not there, then that's not a good business model, right? So you want to make sure you have high profit margins that can fund you continuing to grow your brand. So with that being said, we're going to talk about 2 key methods that we use to make 1K a day that you can use to make 1K a day for your clothing brand. And so 2 very simple methods, but they definitely take skill and honestly experience to execute it, right? It's all about practice, putting in reps. Nothing happens overnight. So you got to have a lot of failures, right? A lot of losses in order to get to those wins, in order to have those successes. So that being said, number 1 method to make 1K a day is viral content. Viral content. We live in a day and age of TikTok. That it might be getting banned. I don't know. But TikTok, Instagram Reels, even YouTube Shorts to an extent, right? Short form content and just social media content in general can provide a bunch of free traffic for your brand. You could go check out one of our last videos about how to create viral content, 3 steps to creating viral content. But with that being said, you want to get it to a point where it's systematic, right? You're not just making random content and hoping it goes viral, right? Everything in your business should be systematic, not hoping that this is going to happen, but you know you're going to get an intended result because you put in a definite action. So with that being said, success leaves clues. And I tell people this all the time when it comes to creating content on social media. Success leaves clues. So if you have a hoodie that you're trying to promote, don't just record it and start trying different stuff, right? Go on your FYP, go on your Instagram feed and just scroll. You can even go to your search, type in clothing brand, even because a lot of clothing brands are doing the same thing. Go a bit outside of your niche. Just look at other businesses, other content creators, see what's going viral, right? And more than just what's going viral, but you want to create viral content that is generating awareness for your product, right? We call it product centric content. So a Say Less Lifestyle, we have over 500,000 on TikTok, right? The first probably 200K of those followers, we were posting a bunch of motivation from like celebrities and famous people that wasn't us, right? Our merch wasn't in there, and we were just doing it for views and just building the brand, right? So there's an aspect to creating brand building content. But we were creating all this great motivational content that was growing the Say Less Lifestyle, doing more, saying less, working in silence, right? But nobody was buying from those TikToks, right? Because they were there to see the influencers, the celebrities, the people that we were putting in our content, and they weren't necessarily there for the merch. So then we ended up making a switch for our next 300K followers we ended up getting to make sure that Trenton and I were in the video and that we were promoting our own merchandise. So whenever you're cornering video, it would be the same motivation that anybody else is giving, but we as the faces of the brand were in it with the Say Less Lifestyle logo on it, right? And just the merch. And then that's when we started seeing organic sales coming in from our brand. So I say that to say, you want to make sure that you are creating product-centric content. Yes, get ideas from what you see that's going viral, but don't just copy something just for the sake of going viral. Don't just create content for content's sake. You want to create content that, one, is building a brand. Yes, is going to get views and engagement, but most importantly, is going to create awareness about your product. So that being said, organic content can definitely get you pretty far. I don't want to say pretty far, depending on your product, right? There are some products that are more viral than others. You just have a regular t-shirt. It's kind of hard to make that go viral, right? Now, if you have a product that's a little more out there, it may be a little easier to go viral consistently. But with that being said, the unfortunate thing, as great as organic traffic can be, right, it could get a bunch of people to your website potentially, right? And like I said, create a lot of product awareness. You're going to get a good amount of orders if you're doing your right with organic content. But the only thing with organic content is that a lot of times with the traffic that comes from organic content is very weak traffic. So you're going to get a large percentage of people who see your content. It could be viral, a great video, but they're just going to keep scrolling just because they're in the mode to keep scrolling, right? If it's just another video. But there are going to be a good percentage of people who will go check out your website. But a lot of times they're just going to check it out just to check it out. They're not necessarily saying, I want to go buy right now, or I need this right now. So that is why it is important to have methods on the back end on your website, such as urgency, scarcity, limited time offers, right? These are all things that we talk about in our How to Start Your 100K Clothing Brand ebook, which is in the link in the description for free. Y'all go check that out. I'll talk about that more later. But having those different tactics, right? Scarcity, urgency, limited time offers, a bunch of different things to make the organic traffic convert, right? You want to have a high converting website. So that being said, organic content, viral content is definitely something that takes practice, right? And so with that being said, just make as much content as possible. Success leaves clues, find out what's working, and make as much of it as you possibly can. And then over time, you'll learn how to convert that traffic into paying customers and then repeat customers. All right, so number one method to make 1K a day with your brand is organic traffic. Second method that we use to get to that 1K a day mark that you can use is paid ads. And this is where we made the bulk of our money, right? Getting the majority of our sales is through paid ads. And a lot of people say a lot of different things about paid ads, but I'm just going to touch on a few things that work for us, right? So I'm going to throw up some screenshots for y'all. But I think the first thing with paid ads is that it is guaranteed traffic to your website, right? Well, one is guaranteed views, right? So I can make a video that only gets 1K views on Instagram, even if it's the best video ever, right? If that's just pure organic, I could put the same video, put it on an ad, and spend X amount to know I'm going to get Y amount of views, right? And so not only just with the views, but I know I'm going to get a certain amount of traffic to my website. And this is where it comes to having a sustainable business that you can depend on, right? And if I'm hoping for somebody to hopefully go from an organic video to go to my website and hopefully buy, right? It's a lot of hoping. But when you are driving traffic, that's literally what you call it, driving traffic with paid ads. It makes it a bit more dependable. So that being said, you're having guaranteed traffic and consistent traffic to your website. And with that being said too, I don't know why, but I think it's just consumer behavior on the platforms, the way people have been trained to go on Instagram and TikTok. It's just something about having that little shop now button that if it wasn't there, people would just be like, okay, it's a nice video. But now that they see that shop now button, now they're in that shopping mindset where it's like, okay, let me go check this out. Let me see if it's something that I might want to buy. And so that's just something that we've seen and just noticed, right? And with that being said too, the way that you test that is by taking your best organic content. So that's why I said it's important to have a large library of organic content. So you're seeing what's performing. If I have 10 videos, right, and 5 of them did exceptionally well, right? Let's say my average view count is 10K views, right? There's 5 that got 100K. I'm gonna go and put some money behind those 5 posts, right? Maybe I could put $5 a day on each of them, test them for a couple of days. Whichever ones are getting sales, whichever ones are getting the most traffic, right? Now you can go in and cut the ones that didn't perform the best and scale the ones that did. So your best paid ads are going to be your best organic content. Your best paid ads are going to be your best organic content. And another thing too with the paid ads that's really key is just the data, right? Having all the metrics right there in front of you. So if I just post, it sounds like I'm talking down on organic content. Make the organic content, right? The organic content is ultimately is brand building, right? And it's building social proof for your brand. So that's make content. I'm not saying don't make content, but the paid ads is what really going to make it consistent. If you want to get to that consistent 1K a day, 2K a day mark, right? So that being said, all the metrics are there, right? And the 4 major ones that I would look at when I'm running ads, number 1, or is 3, excuse me. Number 1, I touched on it earlier, cost per link click. And a lot of people ask, like, what's a good cost per link click metric, right? For us, we would minimum get it under 50 cents. If I go in there after a day or 2 days is running ads and I see it's $5 cost per link click, that means it's not an engaging enough creative or it's not a good enough offer, right? These are all things that we talk about in our 100K ebook, link in the description. But back to the video. So number 1 is cost per link click. Try to get it under minimum 50 cents. For us, we're trying to push under 15 cents, 10 cents, right? So really engaging creative, a great offer, and having some type of scarcity or urgency or some type of major discount that they have to take advantage of right now. And that's going to drive that lower cost per link click. Second one is ROAS, which stands for return on ad spend. Very simply, if I spend $100 on ads and I make $100 revenue, you may think that's break even, but I'm actually losing money because whatever I spent on the ads, that's what I got back in revenue, but now I have to pay for shipping and manufacturing and the actual product itself. So that being said, you need to make sure that you are profitable. And so depending on what your profit margins are, that's why it's important to know your numbers, right? Know how much you are getting your product for, how much it costs to ship out your product, how much you're spending on ads, other charges such as Shopify, right? All these different things. Know your numbers. And so when you have a good enough ROAS where you're comfortable that you're making enough profit, you can continue to scale, right? And then the third one is conversion rate. I can drive 1 million people to my website, but if only 10 of them buy, that's a terrible conversion rate. And that means that there's something wrong with, oftentimes not the product, but it's the website itself, right? So it's important to check your website, right? Do you have these different things in place that we talk about in this ebook? I'm gonna stop promoting this ebook, but do you have these things in place that are going to help you convert, right? Effectively. Average conversion rate is 1%. Obviously, you want to be pushing above that, but anything above 1%, you know that you will at least are on the right path. So how to make 1K a day with your clothing brand? At the end of the day, it's really going to be paid ads that really makes it consistent where you can guarantee that you're going to make a certain amount of money. As long as you are consistently testing new ads, new creatives, new copy, new offers, right? All of that stuff, then it's going to be consistent. So that being said, last thing I want to say, people always ask about Instagram boost posts. Instagram boost posts, I would only recommend Instagram boost posts for getting Instagram followers, right? For just getting people in the funnel, right? So if somebody's scrolling, they see a great post that you have and it says visit Instagram profile, right? You're not necessarily trying to drive a sale right there. You're getting people interested in your brand, getting followers in your brand so that they can see more of your content. Eventually you can retarget those people with paid ads. That's all stuff that we'll talk about in future videos. So yeah, Instagram boost posts, I wouldn't try to drive sales with it or drive traffic. You can, whatever Instagram boost post is, at minimum, you could do that with a traffic ad in your Facebook ads manager. So definitely use the ads manager to your advantage. You can have all those different metrics there. And then, yeah, when it comes to having 1K a day, it really does depend on what you are selling and how much you're selling for, right? If you're selling $10 t-shirts, then obviously you got to sell, what is that, 100 t-shirts a day, right? Not impossible, depending on how much you're spending, but then how much are you spending on your manufacturing and shipping, right? So that's why it pays to have high prices. Build a brand that warrants high prices. If you can have a $35 t-shirt, honestly, if you have a $50 t-shirt, a $100 hoodie, and you're getting a t-shirt manufactured and shipped for 15 bucks max, right? If you have a $100 hoodie and you're getting that manufactured for 25 bucks max, right? Now you have a lot more room to play with when it comes to running paid ads. So I think the biggest thing, guys, I can say with ads is know your numbers. When you know your numbers, it's really going to make things easy for you. And then at that point, it's really a game, right? See how far you can scale it as long as you are able to handle the inventory, handle the fulfillment, right? That's such an important key, right? This isn't just trying to run up numbers, right? This is a business, and the ultimate point and purpose of business is to serve your customers. And then last thing that I'm saying is, really focus on not just selling one product, right? Somebody comes and buys a $35 shirt or a $75 hoodie and then gets out of there, but have upsells, right? So post-purchase upsell, once they buy and they already put in their credit card info, they can say, wait, and then if they bought a hoodie, add in another shirt for another 25 bucks. Give them a discount, show them this is the only time they could get it at that price, right? Now they went from 75 bucks to 100 bucks, right? You do it over 10 times, boom, 1K in revenue. So that being said, really focus on not just selling the product, but selling your brand, right? Selling a collection of products, upsells, downsells, cross sells, bundles, all of that, right? All things that we talk about in our 100K clothing brand ebook. Link down in the description, and it's for free. Like I said, go ahead, cop that. If you have a clothing brand, if you just want to start a business, you're looking to start how to start your 100K clothing brand. That being said, I'm out of here. I was about to say leave a like, but you don't even gotta leave a like. Just go get that ebook. I'll talk with y'all, chat with y'all in the next video. God bless. Let's get it.